Hello, I am Nadia Gabriel in Bio Class 111. This is the final project and today is November 30th, 2020. I will be discussing the topic of the Honeybee crisis in the format of a research professional persuading board members to help the cause. I will now begin. Hello, I am Nadia Gabriel with the National Scientific Research Directors within the Environmental Protection Agency to provide my solutions to the rising issue of the colony collapse disorder within the honeybee community and the grave impact it has on our society. What is this crisis, you may ask? Colony collapse disorder is the abnormality that appears when major honeybee colonies disappear, leaving behind their queen, all their food, and their premature babies known as broods. This crisis has rapidly become an occurrence and is affecting the balance of our environment. Our team has found that every year, 40% of bees die each year, and this rate will only increase unless there is serious change within our laws and citizens. I know by now you're probably thinking to yourself, why would bees just leave? Why would they leave their home? Why would they leave their food, the baby bees, their queen who they're supposed to follow? Why would they just do all of this for no good reason? Well, our team has found that honeybees will do so due to the invasive uromite, which in a sense is a pest of honeybees, typically premature or baby bees, also known as broods, who are so low in the hierarchy and are so new to the colony that they're still trying to figure out their way within the community, how to pollinate, as well as the adult bees and the queen bees. Also, chemical toxins that are found within our environment due to citizens and major companies who dump their wastes into the air and into the water will affect the bees, as well as GMOs within our crops and poor nutrients within the bees in general. The main symptoms when looking for this disorder is when a colony has little to no adult bees, but the live queen bee is still present. Now I know by now you're probably thinking to yourself, how does this affect us? How does this affect my life? Why should I care? Well, I'll tell you. The average citizen doesn't give much thought to the honeybee community and its importance. Many of us were only taught about their unique colors, the stingers that they have on their bodies, the honey that they produce, and how they colonize on the side of buildings, homes, etc. What many of us fail to realize is that this crisis has the ability to enable the production of 90 commercial growing crops in North America alone. These crops include fruits, nuts, and vegetables such as apples, almonds, broccoli, tomatoes, onions, and etc. These fruits and vegetables make up 50% of the food going in and out of our supermarkets every day. On June 10, 2014, the Office of Press within the White House during Obama's presidency stated that the crops that grow due to bee population contribute more than $24 billion into our economy each year. This proves that bees are our greatest pollinators among any other animal. We predict that if there is no change within our laws, that the rate of honeybee colonies will continue to decrease, and these honeybees will become extinct by 2050. Hypothetically, let's say that all bees were to just vanish right now, right here. First, we would see the signs of a major food shortage, crops dying, a decrease in farm stability. The food chain would overall become corrupt as preys prey on different animals and different things. Many livestock would begin to die due to the lack of plants and flowers. We would also have a slight shortage in oxygen, seeing as how plants and flowers pollinated by bees roughly give about 10 to 20% of our oxygen. And as an end result, we would struggle to sustain the current global population of 7 billion people. We would just simply not have enough food. We would just corrupt in general as an economy. Though there are many tragic effects and what-ifs, I'm about to present to you 3 simple ways that we can remedy these issues and begin to save the honeybee population. One of the remedies that our research team has come up with is to create stricter laws on chemical waste, especially within major companies and corporations. It is found that over 100 million tons of toxic waste is dumped into our world's ocean and rivers, lakes each year. The second remedy that we have created is the use of honeybee population rehabilitation centers. This will allow for governments to control multiple beekeepers and to create a center where we are able to reproduce and keep our honeybees safe in order to rejuvenate the population as a whole. Our strategy is to begin by having 5 centers spread out across the nation, with each containing 600 hives, which will equivalent to 20 million bees. The purpose of these centers are to reproduce and release bees across the countries annually. Our final solution is simply informing and educating citizens of this crisis and the easy ways that they are able to help. One of the ways that they will be able to help is by eating bee-friendly. If they were to eat fewer foods with fewer GMOs and harmful chemicals, this will reduce the poor nutrition spread throughout the bee community. We also recommend avoiding the use of pesticides on lawns, as well as harming or killing any bees within either indoor or outside of your residential area. A way to prevent this is to educate people that bees are not harmful to them or their society, and if they were simply left alone and released back into the world, that they are more helpful to us than harm. And finally, one of the things that citizens can do, which would be majorly effective, is creating bee-friendly habitats within their outdoor spaces. They can have small window, rooftop, communal, or residential gardens that will have flowers or pollinated plants that will allow bees coming and going to pick up the pollen and spread throughout. Another point found is if citizens simply just help their local beekeepers by donating money, donating materials that will allow them to handle the upkeep and the reproduction of honeybees. If we were to incorporate these solutions within our governmental laws and our society, we predict that there will be a 92% impact rate within the next 5 to 8 years. I feel that as a society, we need to keep into consideration that there is an estimate of 115,000 to 125,000 beekeepers in the United States alone. The vast majority of hobbyists typically have less than 25 hives, while our commercial beekeepers will keep up to 300 or more hives. We have found that a single colony is able to produce 66 pounds of pollen per year, which will average in about 1,400 to 20,000 pounds per keeper. Though our agency has taken into the consideration of the 6 to 8 week lifespan, we have implemented that into our procedure, keeping in mind that it is critical that we ensure the protection and growth of these honeybee communities. It only takes the implementation of these 3 easy steps to protect our honeybees in this time of crisis and lower the risk of colony collapse disorder. With your help and support, you will not only be helping our government, but the people across our whole nation. If our impact is implemented well enough, we can encourage these types of change across multiple countries around the world. As we've clearly seen, honeybees are not a threat to our lives, and I believe that they deserve our respect and our protection. Why should we risk our lives and not take the chance to change something that has the capability to cause irreversible damage? I wanted to thank you so much for taking your time to meet with me and to hear the research that we've done here at the Environmental Protection Agency. We hope that you take our solutions into consideration and that you partner with us into creating a great and sustainable future. Now, if you were to have any questions, I will be opening the floor to a survey panel. As seen here on the reference page, these are the academic sources and image citations incorporated throughout the presentation. Thank you.